In the previous video, I have demonstrated how to use OpenAI APIs on your Node.js application using Visual Studio Code and the OpenAI API key. So let's get to it again. To use the same things using Python code instead of Node.js. So how to do these things on Python? So first and foremost thing is I'll open up the OpenAI website and I'll log into the website. In the website, I'll go to the OpenAI API portion, and after going there, I will open up the same thing under examples, summarize. I will do the summarize function again in Python this time. So this summarize function in Python, I have this Python option open. So what should be the API request? This is already written here. Import OS and import OpenAI and all these things. So first and foremost, I'll open up Python code in my Jupyter notebook, and first and foremost thing is I'll do installation of the OpenAI. So what to install, I can get that in the API reference part. Pip install OpenAI, that I have to write on my Jupyter notebook. Pip install OpenAI, and I have to run this thing to install all the OpenAI packages. And then the next part of the code starts, which is obviously referenced here, but I will have a different approach to this. This is done all in one place. I'll organize this and I will do with different function definitions and function calling. Also, I will make the summary text, the text that we need to summarize. I will take that in a variable and I will call that in the function. I'll pass that as a parameter, and the function will use the API model to create this. Now, first and foremost thing is I have to use the API key which I have. So here the API key has to be set. In that case, first and foremost, I'll go with import OS, then import the OpenAI library. After that, OpenAI API key. So OpenAI dot API underscore key is equal to, I have to set this. So I have my API key in my notepad. I'll take that API key out and copy it, and paste it here. After that, I am going to define a function. Instead of the documentation they have given, I am going to use a function to do the task. So I'm naming the function something meaningful, get text summary. Inside that, I'll pass a parameter, that is my text, which I want to summarize. And while defining the function, now in the function I'll use their documentation reference, which is this thing. Response is equal to this part I'll take from their documentation. But I'll make certain customized changes here. Like the prompt, I want to take the prompt as a variable, as a text variable. I'll pass to this function as a parameter. So how to do that? The prompt summarize this for a second grade student has to be constant, because this particular prompt invokes the model, the AI model, to find the summarization of the text. After this part of the prompt, the part which is there is the text which they want to summarize. So I can make this thing a variable. So here what will I do? I will delete this part of the text, and I will concatenate the text I am passing as the parameter later on. I am increasing the token limit. I'll use these things, and then this function will return the response. On a separate cell, I will set the text variable that I will pass to this function. I will set the text variable later on, and the result of this will be the return of the function. So I'll call the function here get text summary. Inside that I'll pass my text as the parameter, and then I will print this result. How to print the result? The API returns a particular array of things. It has choices as an array, and inside that choices, the first index material, the 0th index materials part, has the text part, which is the result of it. So basically I'll take choices 0 dot text, that I'll print. Now I'll take the text. I'll take my own text. So I have a text for myself. I'll copy this text and I'll use it in the function. This text, this is a long text, so I'm just reading the text for you. Research by the Seoul National University has revealed that the excessive extraction of groundwater from the earth has resulted in a major shift in the earth's axis towards the east over these years, resulting into more melting of the polar ice caps, thereby leading to a rise in the water levels and change in the distribution of mass on the earth's surface. This rapidly shifting axis of the earth is a matter of concern because this is a contributing factor to the rapid climate change on top of the continual global warming. No wonder summers are turning hotter every passing year and climate extremes are visible in many parts of the world. So this is a long text. Now let's try to get the summary of the text. So first I'll run this cell, and then this will print the result. So yeah, I got the summary. The earth is getting hotter and water levels are rising because too much water is being taken from the earth. This is making the earth's axis shift and affecting climate change. This can cause extreme weather in many places. Now this is one thing. So I have achieved the same functionality using Python. I got the summary. Now I can do certain changes, like instead of getting so many words in the summary, I can limit the word count. So if I say summarize this for instead of for a second grade student, if I write it summarize this in maximum 15 words. So let's see what comes out of this. I run this cell, then I run the last cell, and this is the 15-word summary: over extraction of groundwater shifting earth's axis contributing to climate change. So this is an oversimplified summary basically. So I can increase the word limit here, summarize this in maximum 30 words, and let's see what happens now. Groundwater extraction has caused the Earth's axis to shift east, contributing to global warming and climate change. So this is how it happens. So I am willfully changing certain lines in the prompt itself. But remember, the prompt has to stay intact on the first core of it, that is summarize this. And then you give it in your way. For a second grade student, in 30 words, in 15 words, whatever. But this particular core of the prompt has to remain same, and you have to concatenate your variable text, which I have set here in this next cell. So basically whenever we have some text, we can pass that on to this function. This function will accept the text and concatenate with the main prompt, that is the summarize prompt, and ultimately the API, which is the completions API. This completions API will be called, and its model, which is text DaVinci 003, will return this particular result, and we have it on our front screen. So this is how it works. Now there are certain other parameters like the temperature, max tokens, all these things. The max tokens basically it means certain things regarding the pricing of the API as well as the word count. So how to understand that? There is some section called pricing. Now in this pricing section, we have the documentation of what does it really mean. So this model is the Da Vinci model. This is part of the fine tuning models, and it says the usage, when we are doing a usage of it, for 1000 tokens it costs $0.12. So this is the kind of pricing for this model in the Da Vinci model. So that is the significance of the token. So the amount of tokens you allow in the code will automatically determine how much price it will be for every usage of this code. That's it. So this is how it is done. Thank you everyone for listening to my video, and I'll do more variations on it. The next part of this video will include certain other improvisations using the same approach with extra features. So let's wait for that. Thank you for watching.